Hey folks, welcome back, and if you are here for the first time, welcome. My name is Danae, and this is the Acadian Garden and Apothecary, where I like to talk about all of the edible and medicinal plants found growing right in your own backyard, and of course, what to do with them. So we just had our first snow of the season on November 10th, which means we are officially wrapping up our gardening season, and that also means for our 13 chickens that we are also done with foraging and moving on to just feeding our chickens the store-bought pelletized food. However, just because it's winter does not mean you can't give your chickens really great fresh herbal treats all year round. And today I'm going to show you just how to do that. So as you can see here, I have a good amount of herbs and some grains as well. And we are going to be making suet cakes for our chickens. Now you might already be familiar with suet cakes for wild birds. This is going to be pretty much a variation of that, but you're going to get to learn all of the different herbs that are great for your chickens and why they help your chickens not only during the winter but all year round. So as we are making suet cakes today, we will discuss the science-backed, peer-reviewed medicinal benefits of each of the herbs we add to our trays here. These are frozen treats that you store in your freezer, and then when you're ready to give it to your chicken in winter, you just pop these out and you get a nice suet cake with plenty of fat for egg production and for happy chickens during the winter, as well as a lot of medicinal herbs. Now, as far as what we want to use for our base for making suet cakes, you can use really most kinds of fat. So beef tallow or lard or bacon fat, which is what I'm using for this recipe. But if you're looking for organic options and maybe you're worried about like the nitrates in bacon fat, if you're not 100% sure where it came from, you can also use coconut oil. Coconut oil is solid at room temperature, and of course it will freeze to be even harder when you put it in the freezer, which is where you'll want to store your suet cakes. In this example here, I will be using bacon grease. And the reason for that is I get this for free. My husband goes to a men's group. It's like a men's breakfast that the church puts on every week, and they serve breakfast to all of the guys who show up, and what they usually have left over is lots and lots of bacon grease, and they've been kind enough to collect that for us and share, and we will make this into suet cakes for our chickens. And sometimes we also share it with other church members who also have chickens so that they can share those treats as well. Just a reminder for folks who support this channel, I would really appreciate it if you could just hit the like button down below and consider subscribing if you haven't already. This helps me reach a larger audience, and it's very encouraging to see all of the folks who find this information helpful. So let's help this reach even more people. I like to make my suet cakes in medium-sized cubes, and these silicone meshes are just the right size, plus the flexibility makes it so much easier to remove a single cube at a time when frozen. These are the same silicone cubes that I use to store portion sizes of stinging nettle pesto that I occasionally use for cooking, and they are super cheap, usually under $5. Like I mentioned before, you can use a range of animal fats or plant-based oils, beef tallow, bacon fat, coconut oil, even olive oil, though olive oil will only work well in below freezing weather or else they'll melt. If you're using an animal fat, be considerate in how much you give your chickens, as too much fat can cause health problems. I plan to give one of these cubes, spread out among all 13 of my chickens, twice a week. These are oats with the hull still intact that I harvested this summer. Rolled oats or instant oats work just as well if that's what you have available. Barley is our second grain because that's what we grew in abundance this year. You can also substitute with corn, buckwheat, even dried peas, whatever grain or edible seed you have available. We will also be adding chamomile, stinging nettle, calendula flowers, yarrow, and finally some sage leaves. I should also mention that this is a zero waste method for using old herbs. So I like to use herbs that are from the most recent growing season in my teas, and once it's over a year old and I'm back to collecting fresh herbs, I usually give it away for free or I dump it into my compost. So this is a great way to use those year-old herbs without waste, and it will go a long way in diversifying the diet of my chickens during winter. So I'm going to run through what the science says about how these herbs will benefit your chickens. If you are interested in taking a look at the research yourself, every published paper can also be found in the description. Alright, so stinging nettle. We know it's awesome for humans and delicious. I love stinging nettle pesto so much that I've made myself sick from eating too much of it. So how does it help your chicken? Well, nettles are a great source of a range of vitamins and minerals, high in vitamins A, C, and K, and minerals like iron, calcium, magnesium, and potassium. They are also a decent source of protein. Nettle supplementation can boost your chicken's immune response by improving antibody levels, helping your chickens to fend off viruses and infections during the winter when your birds are the most vulnerable. Yarrow is a wonderful medicinal herb that my family actually doesn't use very often, which is why I still have this small jar left over from over a year ago. A 2014 study on yarrow found that adding yarrow powder to broiler chicken diets improved final body weight and feed conversion ratio. Yarrow extract also supports antioxidant status and beneficial intestinal microbiota in other poultry such as turkeys. Feed conversion is a term that's used in agriculture. In herbalism, we refer to that as improving digestion. So essentially, yarrow aids chickens in getting more calories and nutrients out of their feed. Calendula flowers added to chicken feed can help improve immune function, reduce inflammation, and enhance the color of egg yolks. It may also help with mouth inflammation or reduce issues like thrush or yeast overgrowth in chickens. This tracks well with how it's used in herbal medicine for humans. Calendula is a very resinous plant, and those sticky resins are a significant part of its antifungal properties, useful for topical skin ailments in humans. Chamomile, like yarrow, is a bitter, helping to aid digestion in chickens and humans. Chamomile supplementation in poultry diets has been linked to improved growth, carcass weight, egg production, and feed conversion. It also displays anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, and antifungal properties which contribute to overall poultry welfare, including reduction of aggressive behaviors and stress in birds. So chamomile doesn't just calm down humans, but it also calms down your flock, helping to reduce bullying and injury when they are cooped up in winter. And finally, sage. Supplementation with sage extract in chickens increases egg production and egg weight, improve the efficiency of feed digestion, and may inhibit bone reabsorption in laying hens, helping to prevent chicken osteoporosis. Sage is also reported to have antibacterial effects helpful for common poultry pathogens. So now we are going to break this mixture down as finely as possible. If you can powder the herbs, that's even better, but I would recommend leaving the grains intact as this will help aid in digestion and help prevent crop blockage. But the finer we make this, the less fat we need to pour into the mold. So these little suet blocks are great boredom busters for chickens, though I will admit my chickens go through one of these in a matter of a few hours. Still, it's fun to watch them peck. Now we pack the mold. Melt the oil and pour the oil into the molds. These will go into the freezer to solidify, and I will take one out at least twice a week to share with my birds, and they really love them. So these are just a few herbs, but there are dozens of herbs that you can safely give your chickens that have lots of medicinal benefits. I'll cover those in a future video, but feel free to share what you like to give your birds to supplement their diet during winter, and why. I hope you found this video helpful and informative. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon.